Hi class, welcome to topic 7 DQ1. In this TQ, we are going to look at two stocks over the past year and determine over the past year, did we gain or lose money on these stocks? So as always, let's start by entering our name on the sheet. I am going to use the GCU mascot as my name, Thunderlope. You are going to find two stocks. The stocks must start with the first letter of your first name and the first letter of your last name. So I am looking for stocks that start with T and L. For T, this is the example I'm going to work through. I'm going to use the stock T-Mobile. I am doing this on 8/17/2023. So I'm going to track this stock between today, which is August 17th, and 1 year ago, August 17, 2022. So I'm tracking it from August 17, 2022 to August 17, 2023. So my purchase date for 1 year ago today is 8/17/2022. Okay, so now that I know my stock, I know the day I am going to start with 1 year ago. Now I want to go to the website. Open the website and search for your stock in that website. When you get to the stock page on the website, you want to find your ticker symbol, and then you want to go down to the historical prices table, and you want to look up the closing price for your stock every 3 months for the past year. And I'll go through the exact dates as we keep working on the DQ, but remember, use the dates for when you are working. So you're starting a year ago and then working every 3 months. All right, so I'm using T-Mobile. So I looked up T-Mobile on the website. I found its page. I found my ticker symbol, TMUS. I went to the historical prices table, which is below the graph, and I found my price for about 1 year ago. I say about. Prices for the weekends are not listed on the website. So you're going to be looking for approximately 1 year ago. Not all days are going to be listed. So my price approximately 1 year ago, the closing price for my T-Mobile was $146.86. So I'm going to type that in as my closing price per share for approximately 1 year ago. And then I'm going to calculate my initial investment. I'm going to pretend that for the first stock, I'm taking out 100 shares and I'm going to have a fee of $5. The fee is not for each share, it's just a flat fee of $5. So for my initial investment, I'm going to have 100 shares at $146.86 each. So I'm going to take the 100 times $146.86 and then add on the fee. And that will get me my initial investment. After you fill in that information for your first stock, then you're going to want to go down to the table below. The very first table should have filled in with the initial information you entered above. So you should see the date for 1 year ago, and you should also see that closing price you entered in and your stock symbol. So I have my date that is transferred over here. I have my stock symbol. I have the number of shares, and I have that very first closing price that is the closing price for 1 year ago. So now I want to repeat the process, and I want to find the closing price for about every 3 months. So that means I want to go back to the website and I want to find the closing price for November 17th. And then I want to find the closing price for February 17th. And then I want to find the closing price for May, and then find the closing price for back in August 1 year later. So we're starting in August in 2022, finding that closing price, and then we're moving to November 2022, then February 23, May 23, August 2023. And all of these dates will be dependent on when you do the assignment. So the very first date should be 1 year ago, the second date should be 9 months, third date is 6 months, then 3 months, then today. Go to the website, find all of the closing prices for the dates you have. And remember, sometimes the dates are not listed if they were a weekend. So find a date that is close to the date you're looking for. So then I'm going to list all of the prices I found for my T-Mobile stock. Once I have all the prices listed, now I can find the value. The value is going to be how much all of those stocks are worth, all of the shares with the closing price, how much that is worth for each of these increments of time. So the first value is going to be the number of shares times that very first closing price per share. So this tells you that the values of my stock 1 year ago were 14,686. For 9 months ago, the value of my stock was 14,777. The value of my closing price increased, so the value of my stock is increased. All of those formulas for the value are going to follow the same formula, so you can go ahead and autofill this to the end of your table. You can do a quick double check. If the closing price per share is increasing, your value should also be increasing. The closing price per share decreased, your value decreased. So right here, my closing price per share is decreasing. You can see my value decreasing. Now that we know the value, we want to figure out how much did we actually gain or lose compared to when we originally bought the stocks. So we originally bought these stocks 1 year ago. So we want to determine at each increment of time, how much money did we actually gain or lose? So we want to take the value minus the initial investment. So start with my equal sign, take the value minus the initial investment. And this will tell me at this time how much I gained or lost. So 1 year ago, I lost $5 because that was the fee I paid. I paid $5 to purchase my stocks. They haven't changed in value. So as of right now, I've lost $5. For the second year, we're taking our value minus that same initial investment. And now we have a positive $86. So now here we're gaining money as we go. We can autofill this formula down to the rest of the table as long as we lock in that initial investment. Then we can autofill it down and we can see the rest of our prices. Anytime you are decreasing, that's when you're going to start seeing those negative numbers because you are losing money. When you're increasing, you're going to see those positive numbers because you are gaining money. And again, it is all compared to that initial investment. So if the value is larger than the initial investment, you're gaining money. If the value is smaller than the initial investment, you're losing money. So now you want to do the same idea with your second stock. So find a stock that starts with the first letter of your last name. Find all the information for it, find the initial investment, calculate all the values, and calculate the gain and loss for that second stock. All right, so I have filled in all of the information for my second stock. I have filled in that first row of information, calculated my initial investment, and then I have also finished the second table down here that is going over my second stock. So now it is time for me to calculate my totals. So the first total I want to calculate is the total investment. The total investment is the initial investments added together. So we want to sum up our initial investments. That will give us our total investment. Now to find the total loss and gain, we want to take the loss and gain for each individual stock, add it together, and that will get us the total loss and gain for both stocks together. So I am taking the sum of the first loss and gain and the second loss and gain. And I'm only summing those two cells. And then I want to do that for the rest of the rows until I get to the very bottom. All right, I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions.